Good evening, everyone. I welcome all of you here on behalf of Green Dream Foundation. I will be host for your evening today. I am Simran Gupta. I lead Delhi NCR projects with Green Dream Foundation. That's we are here for. I hope my screen is visible to all, and we're going to start super soon. So before I start welcoming guest of the day and we take further on the show, I would just like to remind that why all of us are here today. We are here today to celebrate the success of our one of very beautiful, prestigious initiative that GDF is running along with GSF and with the blessings of Municipal Corporation Delhi. This is Stainless Swachhta Abhiyaan. That's what we're going to talk about here. We are here today gathered to celebrate success of each of us, of each citizen who chose to become a change maker and tried to motivate all of us together, जिन्होंने कोशिश की कि वो एक बदलाव ला सकें and we can actually achieve a dream of zero waste to landfill in merely 1.5 year. That's that. So before I start, I would just like to showcase that that who will be the speakers for today. So we will have with us these speakers that you'll be seeing on the posters as well. That's what we'll be. It's hosted by me. I'm Simran Gupta and Mr. Ashish Sachdeva. He's the founder president of GDF. We have our guest of honor today, Dr. Angel Bhatti. She is deputy commissioner of MCD. We have Brigadier Rajiv Williams, sir. He's CSR advisor who is ideator of SSA. We have Ms. Pritika Chand ma'am, who is corporate CSR head with us as our guest of honor. We have other series of guests as well who will unfold as soon as I'm going to introduce them, and we'll be talking and speaking and knowing their stories from them. A little bit about GDF. GDF was founded in 2011, and since then there's no looking back, that I can say for sure. We are committed to generate awareness, advocacy, engagement, in driving action among people, organizations, institutions. We are generally working on the themes of waste management, climate change, air pollution, and water security. Currently, we are active in 7 states, and we are trying our level best to reach out to each of them who are here to basically seek our help. We're in Delhi NCR, Hisar, Baddi, Gagret, Himachal Pradesh, that is in Odisha, Jharpur. We are basically trying to reach wherever we could help boosting zero waste, circularity, sustainability, and trying to impact social, environmental, and economical effects that we could do on society. Now, what is Stainless Swachhta Abhiyaan? To this, for some of you, it is absolutely not a new concept. For some of us जो यहाँ पर नए लोग जुड़े हैं हमारे साथ आज, उनके लिए स्टेनलेस स्वच्छता अभियान को मैं थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लेन कर दूंगी, and so that we know that what we all are talking about. So Stainless Swachhta Abhiyaan is an abhiyan where we are trying to enable RWAs, AOAs, school, colleges, and each of that citizen who would want to be a part of our zero waste to landfill journey. जो हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं इस journey में, ये शुरू हुआ था as a pilot in October 2021 with the ideator sir's blessing, and after that we've been here to do full-fledged work on this initiative in all this 1.5 year. We conduct IEC activities. We basically help in asset school, colleges, RWAs, AOAs in decentralized wet waste composting as well as collection of dry waste. We do this so that any sort of low-grade plastic packaging, hazardous or electronic waste is not reaching to landfill, or the wet waste that we are emitting and creating as an individual or as a bulk waste generator, that is composted within our vicinities, within the facilities that MCD has provided, so that we all can focus on that. Now, why we are doing that? It's already in SWM 2016 rules, and to be a responsible citizen, ensuring that we can save our planet because there's no planet B. So that's what we are trying to do under Stainless Swachhta Abhiyaan. And the biggest thing that we all believe as a agenda is segregation at source. If you do this, अगर हम wet waste और dry waste को अलग कर सकेंगे, गीला और सूखा कचरा अलग कर सकेंगे, I am sure it will become the ultimate key to success. The pictures that you can see on the screen is, at one hand, it's a compost, a flower which was bloomed because of that composting. At one hand, you can see our facilities where the waste is segregated and could boost the livelihood of all our waste collectors and waste pickers, bhaiyas and staff and our safai sathis. So that's what we do here, and I'm very proud to share the number of the impact that we have created. So as you can see on my screen, 60 plus tons of waste is diverted from landfill successfully. And I'll just say, yes, we have used the word just. Sirf 1.5 saal mein, in just 1.5 years merely, we were able to achieve this. And I just, dream big, I dream green, that, where we all can reach together by doing this. 18,000 plus kilogram of CO2 emissions were prevented every day. It's a day-wise data. It was prevented every day. Imagine in 1.5 year how much it could have been. I'm sure people are here brighter in maths and would be able to multiply that. And when you multiply it yourself, guys, I just want to tell all of you here, all my seniors, my friends, my students who are watching here, when you do the math yourself, when you calculate the number yourself, it's going to be super amazing. That feeling that, what you've been able to change and do, that is going to be something that will motivate you further and further. And without a further ado, I would like to invite our founder president, the guiding light for entire Green Dream Foundation, Mr. Ashish Sachdeva, to open the webinar and welcome DC ma'am as well. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Simran, am I audible?
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much, Simran, for the introduction. And it's an exciting day. Why? Because I'll get to the point. I remember doing this initial launch webinar in the presence of Brigadier Williams, who's also blessed us with his presence today, the ideator of the program, back in October 2021. And we had agreed to do a pilot because we were already doing programs in Hisar, in Jashpur, and then an idea came. Then why not Delhi? Why not Delhi NCR? And because we saw the need while we were working during the COVID period. So I think it was an idea. And then with the support of everyone who has joined in, it has been a roller coaster, exciting and unexpected journey at the same time. A lot of people gave us support where we didn't expect much. So, it always tells, when you go out there with a positive intent of making an impact on society as well as environment, all kinds of stakeholders that we have today. We have Deputy Commissioner Ma'am from Municipal Corporation of Delhi. So the government bodies have engaged. This is a CSR project of Jindal Stainless Foundation, with whom we are working in multiple cities for different kind of projects, all focused on sustainable waste management. And then not to forget the real change makers of this program, the residents, the change makers, RWAs, AOAs, schools, colleges, and some of them who have been able to join us today, if not all. I'm looking forward to have a very non-typical kind of a webinar wherein there is less of theory, but more of what we have done and what is a plan for the way forward, because a lot of good things have happened over the last couple of months as well, and which you're going to talk about anyway, so I'll not make that repetitive. And without taking much time at this point, I'll give more comments later. I would like to invite the guest of honor for today, Miss Angel Bhati, IAS, who is the Deputy Commissioner for Municipal Corporation of Delhi, who has been a great support to the program, the progress that it has shown in the southern part of Delhi. So without taking much time, I'll request ma'am to kindly please share her initial thoughts with us and guide us on the way forward. I think ma'am had rejoined, so I've just given the rights.
Ashish, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening. Thank you for joining.
Good evening, everyone. My greetings to all the participants today. And first of all, thank you, Stainless Swachhta Initiative and Green Dream Foundation for giving this opportunity to me. Now, I was told I was supposed to give the opening remarks. And I initially thought I'll start with the why. But I'm assuming most of the people who have participated here today are already having a why. And it can differ from people to people, but as long as it's strong enough to bring you here on a Saturday evening, it works for me. So all of us understand why we need to do this and why it is relevant, and not just relevant, but crucial for the future of our planet. So I will briefly start with what I understand with sustainable living and what a zero waste community actually stands for. And what are the initiatives that the government, in particular the MCD, is doing in towards that, and how we are working with the Green Dream Foundation And if any help is required from any of the associations, RWAs, institutions from our side, how we are providing that. So as we all know, sustainable living in zero waste communities is about reimagining how we consume things and how we dispose things. It calls for a shift from our consumption, from a linear pattern of consumption, we consume and we dispose, to a more circular model where resources are continuously reused, they're recycled, and they are repurposed. This allows us to conserve valuable resources and, most importantly, for the context of Delhi, minimizes the burden on our landfills. With this in mind, MCD has been working in various RWAs to promote this mode of decentralized waste management. And in our experience, it involves three crucial steps. The first and the most important one involves the change of mindset for people. Now, communities need a very active participation from all its members, and residents are encouraged to reduce their consumption, opt for minimal packaging, make mindful choices about whatever they consume, whatever they purchase. And this allows us to reduce the generation of waste at source. Similarly, whatever is there, traditionally items that are being discarded, we encourage that they are repaired, refurbished, repurposed. And if any of you over here are above the bracket of 30 years, 35, 40 years like me, you will understand that we as a culture, we as citizens of India have a culture of very mindful consumption. None of us will remember our parents, our grandparents being wasteful towards our consumption. Everything that was brought into the house was put to optimal use, and only when we felt that it is we are no longer to get any value out of that, we would pass it on. And a lot of times we would use our creativity or our skills to actually upcycle or repurpose things. What we're trying to do with MCD right now is we are setting up triple R centers, reduce, reuse, and recycle, where communities can go and submit the items, which includes furniture, it can be books, it can be plastic, and they can then be passed on to NGOs who can give it away to people who are using it, or pass it on to recyclers who might get good value out of it. In total, as of now, Delhi has about 50 centers, and I'm happy to report that 11 of them are in South MCD. So we have plans to set it up in each and every ward. So 250 wards, so all 250 wards should have those centers. This is the first step. And second part, and I think the cornerstone or the most crucial part, which Simran was also initially highlighting, is about segregation. Now, until you do that, you cannot have any scientific disposal for waste. Segregation is a habit, and it takes time because it involves each and every member of your family. We can have single-minded people who have one person in the family who is taking out products for recycling or who's doing repurposing. But for segregation, everybody's involvement is needed. So it takes time. It takes reshifting of our habits that we've formed over the years for segregation. And in my experience, we have about 60 odd colonies which are currently doing zero waste, that none of their waste is going to landfill. We take about a month or so with continuous IC activities, information, education, and communication activities, to about 80% households are able to achieve that segregation. The remaining 10% we get to there about in another month. And then there are always people, and this is, I think, a common experience that all of you will have. There will always be people which you continuously have to handhold, even after attaining the zero waste thing. These can be people who are difficult to convince, the people who are maybe migrating into your community, people who are coming on rent, moving out, students who are coming and going, because we have a lot of floating population in Delhi. So it's a continuous process for the remaining 10%, but more or less 80 to 90% it's easier to cover, and we have had good success stories. Then what do you do once you segregate? I will get the easier one out of the way, recycling, which is always lucrative, not very remunerative, but yes, much easier as compared to wet. And we have a lot of agencies. Being in the capital of the nation, the advantage with us is there are a lot of agencies that do dry waste processing. So you have agencies for paper, for glass, for plastic, for e-waste. All of these, if you put it to right use, somebody can get value out of it. You can get certain amount of value, the recycler will get certain value. So that is taken care of only once you segregate. And the last, and in my experience, the most challenging aspect is composting. Because convincing people, getting the acceptability, getting them to know how to do it properly, because if not done correctly, it will be a nuisance. And then making sure that they continue to do this months over months is where we are working on right now. And this is the most difficult step, in which Ashishji and his team has been very supportive with us. They have, as in their presentation told, we have had one center at GK, which they've been running for about 1.5 years now, very successfully. We have created multiple composting setups in Delhi. 2 more of them now we are trying to work with Green Dream to have them scientifically managed, have them optimally utilized, and have the areas around them actually be converted to zero waste communities. So that about 45 metric tons per day is the capacity that MCD itself has as on today. We have set up a target for ourselves for about 200 metric tons a day, which we plan to achieve by the end of this year. As all of you might be aware, but still, just to give you a reality check, we have about 11,000 metric tons of waste being generated every day in Delhi. About 1,000 of it comes from South Delhi, my area. And we would at least about 45% to 55%, depending on the days and the season, is wet waste. So our target for the year is at least 200, that we set up facilities in participation with the RWAs and in participation with like-minded associations like Green Dream Foundation. And we ensure that we are not sending that to the landfills. Now, a lot of people, when we try to get them to this particular step, have a lot of questions. And some people have burned their hands trying to do it the wrong way, and they're incredibly reluctant, and we can understand their concerns. But there are models, success stories, and various methods available, excuse me, where all of these are being done successfully. And it is available for smallest of households, the most congested of areas, in areas where you have ample open spaces or not. We are also doing it at household levels. There are people who are doing it in their balconies. There are people who are doing it in particular of their parks. And MCD in particular, in our own parks, for our green waste, we're doing it on large scale, even beyond the 45 metric tons that we have for the wet waste coming from the kitchens. As per the solid waste management rules, bulk waste generators, that is those people who are generating more than about 100 kgs a day, they are mandated to do it. So this will include your hostels, your hotels, your bigger banquet halls, all of your clubs. So if any of you are associated with them, please ask them, are you doing it or not? Next time you're going to the club that you're going to, or the hotel, or the restaurant, or the banquet, they are legally bound to do it. We are yet to start on our enforcement of that. We will do that very, very soon, because we understand that certain level of arm twisting along with hand holding is also required. So that is with respect to bulk waste generators. For all the gated communities, we are providing bins or pits if they are happy to make them. If anybody is interested, MCD is available to do that. There is a higher end model of composting bins, which is slightly more expensive. We are not providing that, but there are other models. There are pits that can be constructed. All of those models we're constructing for a lot of colonies. If anybody is interested, we will be available for that. So we would need your support in all of this effort. And I can see a lot of very young faces in the participants today. And I'm sure once we allow all of them to grow, they will grow up understanding the importance of caring for the environment and ensuring that they have a legacy of responsible living. So transitioning to a zero waste community is undoubtedly a challenge. And it requires a lot of infrastructure, it requires a lot of policy level changes, and it also requires a change in mindset. And we're working on all of those aspects, but we have to understand that the benefits far outweigh the difficulties that we might face today. Because our planet and particularly our city are getting polluted at a very fast pace. We owe it to our children to leave a place to them that is cleaner than what we inherited. We are generating waste at a much faster pace than our previous generations. We have gotten into a culture of consumerism, and we need to understand that if we continue at this pace, I mean, we are already running out of pace, and we are really running out of time. With that, I would like to conclude that initiatives like this today, it offers hope to us working with sanitation on a day-to-day basis, and for everybody, we are grappling with this ecological crisis. This holistic approach and this outreach involving citizens and individuals and allowing them to interact, to have their doubts cleared, to have their queries answered, I think is a great way in embracing the circular way of life, as we have to say. So thank you all once again for participating, and look forward to hearing your experiences and working in all of these areas.
Thank you so much, Angel ma'am, and it's a pleasure to hear you. The points you mentioned, firstly, I would like to mention that they completely resonated with the people who were attending. A lot of comments coming in while you were talking, and they were like, these are really the good grounded things that we want to hear and want to be implemented, because it's about always getting the basics right first. And I think you highlighted that really well today. That's what we are also trying to do. That's the foundation of any program, that the basics have to be very, very strong and solid. At the same time, with bulk waste generators, we are here and we'll be happy to support you like we have been doing in a lot of other cities as well. And like you mentioned, that as per the solid waste management rules, they are mandated. As per the ULB notifications also, they are mandated to be independently managing their waste and not put that load onto the urban local bodies. So we are here and we'll always be there to support you. Thank you so much for taking out the time for joining us on a Saturday evening. And I think over the next, and thank you so much for all the support you give to me and my team, and guiding us through all the challenges that we come across, which is very natural, because when you go out there to do good work, challenges also come in. So thank you so much. Very heartfelt gratitude for your support to us. And now we'll be inviting, the ideator of the Stainless Swachhta Abhiyaan program, which started, like I said, in October 2021. We have with us my mentor and someone who has played a very important role in shaping up this program. Over the years, not just in Delhi, but in other locations as well, while, we have been working with the Jindal Stainless Foundation. I'll request Brigadier Rajiv Williams, sir, to kindly share his initial thoughts with us. Sir, you are on mute.
Second. Right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Ashish. Thank you for inviting me and for overstating what you just stated. Well, Dr. Angel, thank you for such a great support that you have been. You are the kingpin, actually, of MCD today to take this to scale, because without the government support, you cannot go to scale the private sector. Simran and all the team of Green Dream Foundation, and of course, my successor, Prithika, who will be also speaking a little later. And I wish each one a very good evening. A very good evening on a Saturday where I find children. There's so many children I can, see them around, and maybe their parents and others. So you are excited to take this project forward. That's encouraging. Encouraging, especially for some of us who started this. And I'll go back in time, maybe 5 years ago when I met Ashish, and he gave me an idea. I said, crazy, but doable. Let's get started on our projects. And that time I was corporate head CSR till about 4 months back or 3.5 months back. And I said, let's get it started at Jajpur and Hisar. That's where our plants are. So we did a pilot at Hisar. There was a wow factor there. And I'm not going to go into the depth of the project, which is already known to you all. And I think Prithika may also touch a little bit about the current happenings. Then we went into Jajpur in Orissa. And I found there was again an exciting journey that we have started. Not only because just as a CSR, but even as a corporate. Entire corporate then got involved with it and seeing how we can actually create the facility, create that ambience, create that kind of a sensitization amongst the employees also to start doing things from the segregation piece from the home. So there were colonies that got engaged, there were schools that got engaged, there were communities that got engaged. There was a Hisar Municipal Corporation also said, okay, let's also start. So it started as a journey. Then came to our mind, I said, hello, Ashish, why don't we get started in Delhi or start in Noida? And he said, I think let's try it at least. So there was a startup. In Noida, we started. Then we said, go to Delhi, and then let's go to Faridabad and go across locations in the Delhi NCR region. And amazingly, in a very short span of time, it's not even 3 years, really, since we started in Delhi NCR. And I find that there is so much of interest generated because it's just an idea which actually started off, but it's the team, Stainless Swachhta team under GDF, under Ashish's leadership, and now Simran is there, and I find the other colleagues hanging around like Sharad Yadav, and very simplistically taking it forward. It's very challenging because that mindset, especially in some geographies, even in Orissa, was a hard nut to crack. And we did it over there. That Delhi should not be a problem because the guys are educated and guys are more sensitive. I thought so. But there were challenging times. The worst was South Delhi, I think, to get started with. But we demonstrated, and Ashish demonstrated. And today, when I see 18,000 tons of CO2 emissions have been sequestrated because of this process, and the tonnages that we've been able to prevent from going to landfill, it may be a speck, but that speck is going to fly around. And that message is going to be taken by you youngsters who are there. We guys are aged. We are past that prime because there was no sensitization. Today, there is a sensitization. There are parents, there are motivators. And when I talk to my grandchildren sometimes, especially, I've just come back from Australia and I've been there, I visit them very often. And there's so much of happenings around this piece of climate change about reducing, reusing, and making sure that nothing goes to the landfill. Small towns, large towns. I mean, I've traveled across the world, actually. I've spoken on various issues, even in the United Nations. And I always feel the startup is from a small thing that you start. Sensitize the communities, make them empowered. They can do it. They be a part of the process. If you include them in the process, nothing stops you. Money is not the issue. Funds are not the issue. Please, I always believe that. During COVID, and our company was under red. Ms. Jindal said, Brigadier Williams, this is going to be a challenge of funds. I said, man, just chill. Don't worry about it. We have got partnerships. We will go to scale. And thanks to the government, because scale, as I mentioned at the beginning, is only through the government's channels. And schools and colleges and children and green eco clubs, etc., all join the bandwagon and we take it forward. So I'll pause here, and I thank you very much, Ashish, for giving me the opportunity, because I just feel I've been very passionate. Yesterday, I was talking in ideation, in ideas, a lit festival. I was invited to speak over there, and I said it's the youth who are going to make the change, and various issues that were discussed. And it was a wonderful, I think, gathering that we had yesterday at Taj Ambassador. And I think here, when we are having it online, we are all going to be taking and be partners of this change, as you rightly mentioned. Thank you, Ashish. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, sir. Your words are always really motivating, and it fuels everyone with a passion to take things forward. And like you had made this call out during the initial launch, I think today that call out is backed up with a lot of success stories that we are going to experience. And and the next person that I'm going to invite is again playing already a very crucial role again in the growth and the sustenance of this program, who is heading the corporate head CSR for Jindal Stainless Limited Group, Ms. Pritika Chand. She's been very kind to take out this time again on a Saturday evening. I'll request her to kindly share her thoughts with us on this program, because what we have seen, I was just when I was speaking to her yesterday, is that yes, there's so much to tell. So there's only a part of it that we are able to present in this short duration of a webinar. But yes, we'll continue to do more events like this so that we can reach out to the masses and share, because we believe whatever we have done, we put it out there on social media. We have nothing to hide. Whatever we do is no rocket science. What's the science behind it is just the commitment, community participation, and kind of being persistent about what we are doing. That's what I tell everyone in any forum where I go and talk to people, and especially the youngsters as well. So now I'll request Pritika ma'am to kindly please share her initial thoughts with us.
Thank you so much, Ashish, and good evening, everyone. I would like to begin with congratulating the GDF team for this wonderful, organizing this wonderful platform today on a Saturday evening. And I think Dr. Angel Bhati set the context so beautifully with actual facts, actual data in terms of what is happening, in terms of how grave the problem is. And also, the light at the end of the tunnel, where we see that there are wonderful initiatives that are planned and are also being implemented with a lot of multiple stakeholders working together. So on this platform here today, there are a lot of dignitaries who've been part of this program for a long time. Ashish, of course, you're the main person here, but Brigadier Rajiv Williams, he's been a mentor for me as well, and a lot of young people in the development sector. So for me, when I joined JSL after a long span of 10 years, I think it was also picking up the baton from where Brigadier Williams left, and also large shoes to fill in when it came to a lot of programs and a lot of genuine programs being implemented on ground. And I think that is how all our CSR programs, are designed and also implemented. And today it's wonderful to see stakeholders in terms of GDF here. We closely work with the government as well through our initiatives, and we are looking at supporting the Swachhta Abhiyaan as well. So ma'am, again, Dr. Angel Bhati, it's wonderful to have you with us here as well. It's a program that is very close to us, because we believe that, not just as part of CSR, but as a responsible corporate, as a responsible Indian company, I think we would like to see changes in the community and society where we're working. And like Brigadier Williams also mentioned, that we started this as an experiment, something which we wanted to do at our plant locations in Jajpur, Odisha, and also in Hisar, Haryana. And then eventually our program started in Delhi NCR as well. I think one important thing I would highlight about this program is the way the model differs in each location. Though solid waste management is a challenge that all of us face, it's a reality not just in India, but across the world as well. But the nature of the challenge and the nature of how you come up with a solution Again, kudos to Ashish and his team for coming up with relevant indigenous solutions relevant to a particular location. So this very program has a very different model for us in all the locations where we are supporting this program. And we are not creating parallel infrastructure. We would like to complement and work closely with the government. And every state has a model where we are looking at using existing infrastructure and also using our existing relationships and partnerships with the civil society, working very closely with the government and the communities as well. And again, it's wonderful to see a lot of young people who are part of this conference here today. They are our future. They are also our future leaders as well, who would be inheriting the planet from us, but also implementing a lot of initiatives that are taking birth now, in these current times. So again, coming back to the program that we're supporting in Delhi NCR, we are working not just with communities, but also very closely with educational institutions. Like everyone mentioned, though the basic infrastructure might be available, we're talking about South Delhi, or we're talking about Noida high-rise societies. So the basic infrastructure might still be there. But I think as an organization, GDF brings in a lot of hands-on day-to-day interactions to help communities and also to pass on the relevant information in terms of segregation and the nature of segregation in terms of how it is supposed to be done. And I think the key to any solid waste management program is that the waste needs to be segregated at source. Again, another important aspect of the program, especially for us in Hisar, is that GDF, through our CSR program, we are also working very closely with the rag picker community. It is one of those communities that are on the sidelines of the society because of the nature of the work they do. And through the program, there's been a lot of capacity building of that community. Health insurance is something probably they never had an opportunity to ever get it in their lives. Through the program, we have a community of around 20 to 25 rag pickers who currently avail health insurance, and GDF has been hand-holding them and providing a lot of support to them as well. And also when it comes to their basic safety, when it comes to, managing waste in terms of the hazardous waste also that they have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, GDF provides a lot of hand-holding, a lot of knowledge and support to them as well. So once again, thank you so much, Ashish, for bringing multiple stakeholders from all walks of life together on a Saturday evening. It's wonderful to see that through our little support, such wonderful impact has been created where so many people have been part of this initiatives, and we're working very closely with the government, and there is so much scope for replicating such initiatives across locations. And we'll be happy to support the expansion of similar initiatives across our CSR locations. Thank you so much for this opportunity once again.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing those details and your vision as to how you plan to scale up the program in a way that the government bodies are involved, because that's where the real scale lies as well. And we are very, very hopeful that with the support that we have in terms of people's ideologies, people's commitment, not limited to just Jindal Stainless Foundation and Green Dream Foundation, but other entities that are joining with us. I think their commitment to this program, whether to this or any other program in any other city, that's what defines the impact numbers that we are able to create and measure at the end of the day. So without taking much time, thank you so much for your time. I'll request Simran to kindly take over and request the speakers to now kindly start sharing their success stories as well for everyone's benefit.
All right. Before that, I would like to advise, before we go on to the speakers, I would just like to put 2-3 housekeeping rules, and then we'll start with the speakers. With respect of time, I would want that everyone should keep their thoughts within 3 to 5 minutes. That would be will also allow us time if audience have questions, so we could even take that if that the time allows. Meanwhile, if you guys have any questions, all the students, all fellow teachers, all the people who are change makers who are trying to be a part of this webinar on a Saturday evening, you can please put down your questions in the Zoom chat. Our team is already answering some of the questions, and we would be keep on taking that. When I'll be sharing my screen further, you'll see the Instagram, LinkedIn handle that you can reach out to us, and Facebook. You can just simply find Green Dream Foundation. You can simply reach out to us. So I would now like to invite Ms. Ekta Gupta, who is environmental consultant in Municipal Corporation Delhi. Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, hi.
Firstly,
So I would like you to please share your few thoughts on Stainless Swachhta Abhiyaan.
firstly, I want to thank you, Green Dream Foundation and Swachhta Stainless Abhiyaan, that they have invited me to speak about the initiatives by MCD as well as our community also. So I'm Ekta. I'm working as a consultant in Municipal Corporation of Delhi. And as Deputy Commissioner Madam Angel Bhatti ma'am, she has actually beautifully conveyed about all the waste management initiatives and where we are lacking and where we actually start with. So she has explained it very nicely, and I would like to focus more on the Swachh Bharat Mission initiatives and also about Green Dream Foundation, how they are working in our MCD jurisdiction. And so let's, by not wasting time. So with regard to, firstly, I will start with, so how much Municipal Corporation of Delhi, like because it's a capital of Delhi, and generation of waste is like very high, 11,000 TPD. And we have hard infrastructure in terms of waste to energy and other waste processing plants. But as we know, it's not only waste cannot be treated by just only with hard components. We really need to shift towards at source level waste management to help our city to get rid of landfill sites. And as we all know that we have 3 big landfills which we need to actually remove, which we need to actually eliminate from our city, so that the land value and all the aesthetic presence of the city, it should be actually regained back. So this is how now the government is shifting towards decentralized waste management, towards community engagement. And it is very important that now we should not think that it's only government responsibility. Now we should think like it's a collective efforts. We all need to be responsible and engage each other, talk to each other, aware each other. This is the whole logic behind if we want to succeed in this. And Delhi as a city, which actually Deputy Commissioner Madam also rightly said, because we have a lot of tenants and we have a lot of migrant population, waste segregation is another challenge which we are not able to achieve. But still, through foundations like Green Dream and our other vendors also, who are our NGOs, they are actually helping MCD to have the waste segregation at source, to have a home composting, to have a community composting. So let's start with, this is my message actually. So let's start with the things. So presently our Swachh Bharat Mission initiatives, what we are doing, first of all, it's a waste segregation at source where the Delhi is lacking at a huge cost. South Delhi has achieved very well, but still other parts of Delhi, if we talk about, we are still lacking. So waste segregation at source is a major thing. And decentralized composting and recycling is another Swachh Bharat Mission is like they are focusing on our MCD. Community engagement is very important. We have engaged, MCD has engaged brand ambassadors or individuals, RWA groups. So even I want to thank all the active RWs who have just joined this webinar. They are doing actually really great work in this sector. And without them, it is not actually possible. So they are actually helping the government to increase the waste management and to reduce the waste reaching to the landfill site. Also, there's a major focus on garbage vulnerable points. There are a lot of garbage vulnerable points in and around the city. So this is really need to focus, which we need the focus of the people. But everyone should actually stop littering in and around their areas. We should think of, like, we should think those areas, it's like they are also our responsibility, and the city should look clean. So garbage vulnerable points is one of the major issues there where we need actually a big focus on it. So Swachh Bharat Mission actually focus on removing all those garbage vulnerable points. And there's obviously extensive IC awareness, which is very important to highlight, because without IC awareness, we cannot aware the people. And I guess people are very much aware, but they are just ignorant. So I feel that it's because of maybe lack of proper services they are getting. So a lot of people complains that even if we segregate the waste, the waste will not be transported to our processing plants in a segregated form. But I would like to tell you, even if you do your bit, you can actually helping those rag pickers which are working in our DLAOs and FCTS, which are our secondary storage points. You are helping them at a great level, because they are actually segregating your waste, and it is very hazardous condition and all. So I request you all, it's better, because if you segregate the waste, it is somewhere helping somewhere or other. So this is another point. And also there's very major focus on digitized monitoring and reporting, because without the data, we cannot assess our how much we have achieved the results. And also there is a major focus on bulk waste generators. Bulk waste generators who are producing more than 100 kgs per day. So this is very important that we should like engage bulk waste generators, and it's very mandatory as per the rules also to have a proper composting pits. They should install those composting units in their premises. And luckily MCT has around, like, out of, even if we talk about 500 bulk waste generators, which we have just recently reported, out of that around 400 are doing actually. So this is recently we have assessed the bulk waste generators. Also, there are a lot of NGOs and RWAs and waste management agencies which we have engaged. They are helping us to create zero waste events. So recently we have did zero waste wedding or zero waste bhandaras. And cleaner and sanitation drives are another important aspect, which is like it's a regular activity. And also there is a like other Swachh Bharat mission programs which we are doing. So there's a Swachhta campaign, which is like it is focused on the women, focus on waste segregation, 3R initiatives, home composting. And another major part that MCT has, like there are many local composting units in and around the city. And basically focus is that to have a minimum waste going to the landfill site, going to the waste processing, but maximum waste processing at source itself. So there are local composting units, material recovery facilities for our waste management in and around the city. But major, what I am seeing in Delhi, because I'm a resident of Delhi also, I'm born and brought up here only, there are a lot of active RWA groups who are coming forward, and without them, it is not possible. So I would like to thanks to first all the RWAs. And also, if we talk about Green Team Foundation, they have actually done very remarkable work in W Block GK1. Even I got to know from one of, because I stayed in Siafa, so someone was telling me that they are segregating the way, they are promoting segregation and even community composting. And this is like, even I will request they should explore more areas of Delhi, and even if they can like they can increase the area of waste processing in terms of community composting, that will be very helpful, because our maximum waste is wet waste only, which is actually it's a problematic. And MCT has one issue that we don't have a separate facilities for wet waste. We have waste to energy plants, but still wet waste is somewhere challenged. So wet waste, if we can process at source, it can be very, very helpful. Also, another, because Delhi is a, like, we always see a very big problems in Delhi, but we have some good practices, and which is being maybe ignored. So I would like to tell you that presently at Okhla dump site, we have 3 dump sites, Okhla, Balaswa and Ghazipur. Presently at Okhla dump site, our waste has been, fresh waste has stopped. There's no fresh waste is coming to the Okhla dump site because of one of the waste to energy plant being set up at Dekhan. But I should not give a credit only to waste to energy plant. It is also because of collective efforts of all the groups, RWA members and all the community who are engaged in this. And we have there are like a lot of NGOs who are working with us. But if we talk about waste management, it should be totally should be very much togetherness, collective, and I know everyone can reach to that point. As ma'am rightly said, our Deputy Commissioner Madam, that 80% has been achieved, 10% is totally dependent on the people who are coming from outside. So waste segregation is important, and rest, we will always being together, we can achieve those factors. So thank you so much for having me here, and thank you for giving this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ekta ma'am. Thank you so much for your words. Just would like to add in that, as you just suggested, we have in fact taken more wet waste composting pits. We have been starting at Chiragdili location, BRT Road. We have another location in process, that is Saket, and we'll be taking more and more as soon as we are here to work towards the wet waste composting and channelization.
Very
So
nice,
that's what
very
we're
nice.
doing. Yeah.
Even
Thank you.
W block, even I've also seen it.
Yeah. So
Going
that's
good.
one is
So,
already in progress. So you'll see in the PPT in which will be coming
yes.
forward. So you'll
Yes.
be able to see that. All right. So on the basis of this, I would now like to further invite. We'll be starting with our success story at Changemakers now. And the first that we have, I'm just sharing my screen so that all of us will be able to look at this. Yeah, I'll be sharing again. I think it is post formal, but before that, I would also like to invite Mr. Kamal Kapoor. He is RWA president of Greater Kailash, and we also have Rashmi ji, who is the change maker from Greater Kailash 1, who has been a through and through support to us. I would first like to invite Kamal sir to share his thoughts on this zero waste journey. Just Sir, floor is over to you. Meanwhile, you're speaking, I'll be sharing my screen, sir.
Good evening, all the participants, and good evening, Dr. Ashish Sachdeva, Simran Gupta, and also I would thank Monica and for being all the help, and my colleague Rashmi Khurana, who has been helping us in this endeavor. I remember having received, am I audible, Simran?
Yes, sir, you're audible. You're by all means audible.
Thank you. You see, in month of January 22, I was coming back from my office. I received a call from Mr. Ashish Sachdeva, who just wanted to meet me, and we met in a park and discussed this subject. And next day, we started working on that. And then it has been a great journey after that, convincing our garbage collectors, our residents to segregate the waste. And initially, Mr. Rakesh from who was the advisor to Commissioner, he had helped us in a great deal to create a small facility for us near the Archana shopping complex, MCD Park. And we started that way, collecting wet waste and composting it and developing a beautiful compost to be given back to the residents. And if you see in the pictures, how the beautiful from the wet waste, home wet waste, how the beautiful this manure, this compost comes. And when we started distributing this to all the residents, they were really surprised and so happy to receive it. We, charge a very nominal amount to them. We charge about 50 rupees for 5 kg with a bag. And we invited Dr. Ankita Chakravarti, at that time, Deputy Commissioner, who has been a great help to us. And after that, Dr. Angel Bhatti has helped us a lot in solving our issues, helping us again, giving us permissions, and taking care of a lot of our issues. So I allotted 3 minutes or 5 minutes. I don't think I can sum up everything in that. Simply that we are on it for more than 1.5 years, and we will be on it. We are doing about 90% segregation, wet waste segregation in the homes, which is our main concern. Dry waste is taken care of very well. That is not a problem, but wet waste on everyday basis are being composed in our pits. And Rashmi Khurana, who will be speaking next, is helping us a lot in that. So thank you, Ashish. Thank you very much for being there all the time. Thank you, Dr. Angel Bhatti, for being a big support to us, for carrying forward this activity. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Kamal sir. Thank you so much for your kind words. And as Kamal sir said, we have been able to divert 20 plus tons of wet waste from landfill. And this was possible only because of the collective effort of RWA joining hands with GDF under SSA, and with the guidance of both our RWA and Ashish Sachdeva sir. We've been able to do this wet waste composting on daily basis, and have been able to distribute around 550 kgs of compost to the residents as well. Now, I would like to invite Rashmi Khurana ma'am, if you could also share your thoughts and words on this.
Yes, I am Rashmi, and I'm very thankful to Ashish for organizing this event, for sharing and inspiring each other. And I'm also very happy about Ekta, because she mentioned W Block, and it was very encouraging that our efforts are being appreciated, and we are here to help anything, anywhere, wherever it is needed. So as like Dr. Angel Bhatia also mentioned very nicely, mindful consumption. So from very childhood, we were taught like about mindful consumption, not to waste, share our things, and not to even waste food, water, electricity. And I think those habits as a child has made us like environmental enthusiasts. And that's why I have been given the responsibility of subcommittee head of W Block GK1 as a waste management for managing waste and going towards this journey of zero waste to landfills. It actually in 2018, in our neighborhood, there was a demonstration by Daily Dump. And that's how I got introduced to changing wet waste into compost process. And I was so impressed that I bought the khamba there and then and started it. But the main challenge, main mission came at a larger scale when in 2022 February, our president, RW president, Mr. Kamal Kapoor, introduced me to Ashish Sachdev, CEO GDF. And they showed me, they talked to me that how we can take it at a community level. And then they showed me the pits, very nicely made pits behind Archana complex with drainage system, and their plan about taking this forward as a big mission. Now the next challenge came of educating and encouraging our residents. And we did many women gatherings and demonstrated there about wet and dry waste. We also educated and answered all queries on our WhatsApp group, which is a block group Parivar, and encouraged everybody on daily basis to segregate wet and dry waste. We educated the home staffs also, and then our garbage collectors also were monitored very nicely every day on daily basis. And thanks to the team, GDF team and SSA, the Simran Gupta and her teammates, Saurav and Monica, their full support was always there in making this dream possible. And I'm proud to tell you that I'm so happy to tell that now in W Block, each and every house is segregating their waste. And we are able to get wet waste to the pits almost 70 to 80 kg per day, Simran, yeah?
Yes,
We
yes,
are
totally,
distributing
Rashmi ji. We are
compost
able to-
every 2 months, like around 300 kg every 2 months, like 5 bags of 150 kg every 2 months. Now the segregation process was again a very tedious and very thorough process, which GDF took the responsibility. There are 3 pits. There are 3 big pits, and the first pit is pit number 1 is for like where every day 70 to 80 kg of wet waste is dumped every day, and then it is covered with the dry leaves. The second pit is when the first pit like get almost half, more than half, then it is covered, and then it is like see the person is here is like shuffling and putting, and sometimes the neem leaves also there to avoid bugs and things. And the beauty is that you can see from the picture that all 3 pits are covered with net, so that there will be no like we don't want to create any unhealthy environment for the neighboring people, and they were nicely always covered with thick net. And the second pit is like when the first pit is there for processing for 30 to 40 days, then we start dumping the wet waste in the second pit. After some time, after a month, then the first pit is taken out, all the compost is taken out, and then it is drying in the sun for 3-4 days. And then it is sieved very nicely and kept in the third pit. Third pit is for the storage, and it is kept in the third pit. And every 2 months, we pack them in first. We pack them first in newspaper bags, and then we put them in the cotton bags so that people get the cotton bag. You can see in the picture, so that people can get the cotton bags in nice condition, and they can use them instead of using plastic. So this is again another initiative to avoid single-use plastic from our side. And Simran and Monica, Saurav, they are so happily distributing. And then the distribution day is like a festive day for us. We are so glad that every 2 months we get as if we're getting fruit of our labor. And the residents have also become very, very enthusiastic about we are able to get like 30 bags in 2 months, but residents, their queries are like 50 and 60. So we are trying to persuade residents not to waste even a single chilka. And it can reach to the pits. And thank you notes are sent to encourage them. But yes, lots have to be done. Lots needs to be done still. And we are happily here to do whatever in this field we can do with the support of Kamalji, Ashish, Simran and team. And yes, we have miles to go before we sleep. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ashmiji. Thank you so much for all the journey that you have beautifully explained. And this is just a very encouraging, energy for all my team and for me as well. So we're going to go up and above from here. This is just the start, and I'm very sure that we'll be able to divert tons of waste from not just W Block, but we'll all encourage other RWAs as well. All right, so moving on, we have with us Aarti Kapula ma'am from Supertech Emerald Court, Noida. This was one of the AOAs that we got associated with. She's Joint Secretary of AOA of Supertech Emerald Court that we started in May 2021. From supporting them from COVID and a beautiful relationship that we have had for over more than 2 years, and this is what we are aiming for, sustainable longer relationships when we tie up with GDF. So I would now like to invite Aarti ma'am to share her thoughts over her journey of zero waste to landfill.
Thank you very much for inviting me for such fantastic webinar. Whoever has spoken so far, I mean, it really makes the entire sense for the waste management that we all are so passionate about. My journey, I would just make it a brief because I think a lot of speakers are waiting. So my journey started in my society because there was a dump in our society where there used to be the waste would be collected in one place, and the whole day the housekeeping staff would go and segregate. Some kabadi wala will come, they will take away some the hardboards, cardboards, or whatever they can sell. From there was a gate there. And then there was a constant cribbing by the residents that, we are having so much stink and it looks unhygienic. And post-COVID, everybody was so, crazy about the cleanliness and hygiene and everything. So I have a neighbor who was already into it and she was doing it well. So I learned from her and started my own, initiative in March 21. I was elected also in the RWA at that time, but I had no idea because we were about 600 families. I had no idea whether this will be possible or not. I just had that, what you say from that Gita, ki karm karo aur phal ki ichha mat karo. So that was my, kind of an initiative which I started. And with housekeeping, we gave 2 bins to each the housekeeping staff. And what we did was, we had, as one of the person was saying, they had a WhatsApp group. We also have WhatsApp group as tower wise in our society. We have about 15 towers, 600 families. So what we started doing is whenever the garbage was collected, the housekeeping staff would tell that they will not pick up the one which is segregated, non-segregated. So if somebody did not segregate, we will send the photograph of the garbage and not the person. We never humiliated any resident in our society. So they learned from the pictures that it is their garbage which is not segregated, and they started segregating. And it is an amazing, experience for me, because we managed to segregate 600 families in a span of 10 days. And today we have almost about 99%, or maybe 1 or 2% less, as one of the, the speaker was saying, that we have the moving, population, we have tenants walking in, and so no, but the housekeeping staff makes sure that they don't pick up unless they have, segregated it. Somebody is asking a question. I am from Supertech Emerald Court, Sector 93A. So this was the journey that started. And then we went ahead and did some more during the COVID, the segregation. We did some company. There were a lot of videos traveling during that time about mask. So I segregated about 300 to 400 normal mask, about 200 N95, the PPE kits. We sent it to a company called EE Tech for making bricks and all that. But that was one of the things that we did. Apart from that, we have a composting, as one of the person was saying, that we also have a composting pit in our own society. And we have managed to take out about 4 or 5 trolleys so far from that pit and not distributed. This is a good idea, which I heard from another person, but we have been putting it in our own gardens as we have acquired. But what happened is, in our society, there were few residents who were segregating with the plastics and the cleaner part of the dry waste, and they were keeping it. There was somebody who was coming to pick it up. Then suddenly that person refused. And I just happened to see a story on Sri Ratan Tata's, story, that there is a place called Harsyudala who's doing very well in Karnataka. I called them, and they told me that they don't do in Noida. So they gave me some Chintan's number. Then from there, some lady they gave me in Noida. I don't remember her name now. And she told me there is one boy with the name Ashish who's doing some fantastic work in this field. You get in touch with him. And that's how I came in touch with Ashish. And from then till now, we have a fantastic journey. He's a wonderful person. He has never said no. We have managed to give him more than 10,000 kgs, which is like 10 tons of waste. He is segregating on all levels, a lot of laptops, mobile phones, and wires, electrical waste has gone from our society to the proper places where it is supposed to go, rather than the landfills or any other place, And our staff has been given a lot of incentives by Ashish. He has given them atta. He has given them, a treat kind of a thing. So they are very happy. We obviously always have put them first ever since I have started the segregation drives. I have given them a lot of respect, because I tell them that because of them only our cities are clean, and it is not because of us, because they are the one who can, persuade residents that, don't put things, don't put glasses. When they got cuts, we circulated in the entire society. So people are very particular. Today we have 4 levels of segregation. We don't have glasses coming in the major, the garbage. The company who was responsible, the Asian Enviro, I chase them kind of little on everyday basis. Now today our collection starts around 9, and everything is out of our society by about 10:30 or 11 o'clock. And we are on every Saturday, we give a lot of, the collected electrical, electronic, the shoes, the clothes, and so many other stuff from our houses electrical, electronic stuff to Ashish's Green Dream Foundation. And I feel they're doing a fantastic job, phenomenal. This is what we need, more companies, or maybe I wish he grows so big that the entire country kind of is cleaned up by the kind of segregation or the work he is doing. And he's given so many jobs by creating this company and, the kind of initiative they have. So I'm very proud of being associated with Ashish, and I hope that there, more awareness. People understand that it is very, very important to keep our environment clean, and rest of the things have been already said by the other speakers. So I'll leave it here. And thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I'm so proud of you, Ashish. You do fantastic job for the society, for the community, and for the country.
Thank you so much, Aarti ji. You've said more than what we all deserve, but your words are really motivating. I remember how we started, because the associating with you is a very clear memory in my head. It was during COVID that we got associated. The movements were limited, but you and one person from your society, Sarita ji, I remember, was there. And we met, and then we started. At that time, honestly, the program Stainless Swachhta Abhiyaan had not even started.
Yeah.
The program came in 1 year later, but your intent was so motivating that we were like, let's make this happen somehow. And the entire community of waste pickers that we had supported during COVID-19 by providing them, the ration kits throughout the COVID lockdown, they also came forward and they said, we are happy to support anyone, who wants to dispose of their waste. So we trained them, we did their capacity building, and now I'm hopeful we'll remain associated and more people will take inspiration from you, not just related to, this aspect of waste, but the overall way you drive your, apartment and complex, being the joint secretary. So, hats off to you, and thank you so much for joining in today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Aarti ma'am. Thank you so much. All right. So moving on, we have with us Roli from ATS1 Hamlet, Noida. She is a change maker who made sure that the journey which started from houses in like digits like 15 or 16, it should by all means reach to a level that there are now conversations that should we go and pick up the waste twice in a week. So that is what one change maker's vision can do. So now I would like to invite Roli to share her thoughts on her journey to zero waste to landfill.
Thanks, Simran. So happy to be talking today. Such a great sense of community. Hearing people talk before me, so inspiring what they're doing. And I think this is what the main thing GDF is doing, because right now, as our country still struggles to grasp the concept of low waste and development and how can it happen together, GDF is doing this so well. You're connecting people with this vision, with this feeling, who have in them the wherewithal to make it happen. And I'm so happy to be talking about this today. And I'm here to share a very small, I heard a lot of you doing great work before. And for me, it was a very individual journey. And as a person, I wish to live a low waste life. And I was composting at home, so my wet waste was taken care of. And I was segregating my dry waste. And it was a big struggle to first go to Gunj to give the textile waste, and then whenever you're making a run to Gurgaon for work, then go there and deposit your dry waste. I mean, I've been for drives with my whole back car seat full. So I had been looking out for organizations that would be happy to pick up dry waste from my community, if not my doorstep. And that's when Aarti ji, we heard all her right before. She led me to Green Dream Foundation, and Ashish was very nice. He agreed to come pick up dry waste from the doorstep of just 16 homes. We had 16 houses who agreed to give this dry waste in the beginning, and but the professionalism with which Green Dream Foundation ran the initiative, we could count on them that they'll be there every Monday. They would collect our dry waste. They would report to us that this is how much waste we had collected. Earlier on, you saw a picture of all of us standing at the segregation site. Ashish took all of us there to show us this is how your dry waste is being handled. And he even introduced us to the recyclers who are handling that dry waste. We saw it to see, you know, it's one thing to say, but when you actually see that foil that you have taken the trouble to wipe and keep, and that's being kept somewhere, and when it's 100 kgs, it is going to go back into the circular economy and not in the landfill, was a big plus. And that sort of professionalism which Green Dream Foundation gave us encouraged my community and to jump on the bandwagon. And very soon, within a span of a few weeks, we were 100 households big. And we are now like 15 and a half. We must be on the 82nd collection now. So our journey started in January 2022. And yeah, so 82 collections later, we have diverted 15 and a half tons from the landfills. And I really think that with just a little bit of support from authority and the system, you know, Green Dream Foundation and organizations like that can create even more value. So I'm praying for that. I'm hoping for that, you know, they get what they deserve, all the support from not just us, from the people who make decisions, for them to notice these companies which are doing such great work. So that's my hope for Green Dream and for all of us, that we are able to find more such people, more such voices, and very happy to be sharing with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rolly. I'll just add a couple of comments there. I know we are running late, Simran.
Yeah. That's
so with Rolly ji also, I remember the journey started with Aarti ji connecting me to her. So, you know, that's a perfect example of how, you know, when a initiative is a well-meaning initiative is doing well in one place, and they're well-meaning people, you know, in the neighborhood, on the vicinity, they can expand. And like she rightly said, we had similar in all the societies where we are working now and able to sustain this project. Is started with a very small number. It was not sustainable for us, because imagine, you know, 10 houses or 20 houses will give what, 20 kgs, maybe maximum 30 kgs. That is the transportation cost, and the cost of the labor is more in such cases. So now we are trying to make this process sustainable in a way that the weight, the waste, firstly, the value derived from the waste is maximum, because we send the waste directly to the recyclers. We just sort it out into multiple categories at the secondary segregation level, and we straight away send to the recyclers. So it creates more benefit for the rack picker, and we are able to do it at no cost for, you know, the societies and the educational institutions that we are working with. So thank you so much, Rolly, for your support. And like you rightly said, now that we have official support of MCD as well, and I'm looking forward it happens in other cities too, so we can expand the scope of the program. The commitment of our programs and our team will always be there for you, with you always. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ashish. Thank you, Green Dream.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Rolly. Thank you so much. Next we have with us Shikha ji from Purvanchal Royal Park. And now I would like to invite her to share her journey with us, and how she, and what does she feel about her zero waste to journey. Shikha ji, over to you. Shikha ji, am I audible?
Hi, Simran.
Hi, Shikha
Am
ji.
I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. हेलो, जैसे एक पहाड़ पर रास्ता बनाने की शुरुआत पत्थरों को हटाने से होती है, उसी तरह से ड्राई वेस्ट की पहाड़ जैसी समस्या को सॉल्व करने के लिए हमारी सोसाइटी ने बहुत छोटे से लेवल पर इसको स्टार्ट किया. We believe the world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, by those who watch them without doing anything. Hello everyone, I'm Shikha Saru from Sector 137, Purvanchal Royal Park. मैं आप सबके साथ टीआरपी की ड्राई वेस्ट रिडक्शन की स्टोरी को शेयर करना चाहती हूँ. Environment is everything, and we all know the plastic waste is so much dangerous for our environment. But we feel helpless because we did not know how to dump this or how to dispose this safely. So I saw a video. There are a group of ladies who are trying to save the environment by recycling of plastic waste or milk pouches. So मैंने उसको collect करना शुरू किया और start sending to the Bombay. और धीरे धीरे PRP और surrounding societies के लोगों ने भी हमें join किया और हम every 15 days में 2000 milk pouches save करके courier करते थे. That is the trigger point for us कि if we can save the plastic pouches, so we can also save all type of dry waste. So वहाँ से फिर हम लोगों ने Google search start किया and then we found आशीष जी number. So वहाँ से हमारी last year November से officially dry waste journey start हुई है और currently around 90 families हैं जो every week में हमारा dry waste means foundation को hand over करते हैं और around 3000 kg plastic waste and dry waste को हमने landfill में जाने से बचा लिया है या मैं कहूँ कि हमने इन्हें recycling के लिए भेजा है. So that is our achievement. और मैं बस आप सभी को wish करना चाहती हूँ कि big thanks to all of you and wish everyone a better best wishes towards achieving better environment. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shikha ji, for all your words. And I'm so thankful for all the support that you provide throughout when it comes to collection, when it comes to our team coming there and, you know, ensuring that everything is smooth, guiding housekeeping staff not to pick up the bags of the families that are, you know, associated with us. So your support has been through and through, and I'm very sure that from 90 households, you know, it will be in triple digit super soon, and we'll be crossing the mark of 100, 150 or 200 super soon. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, Shikha ji. All right. Okay. So moving on, before I go to my young change makers and I start inviting my school partners and, you know, the entities under SSA, we have with us something that, you know, as Ekta ma'am also mentioned, that wet waste is something which is a brimming factor in Delhi right now. Wet waste is something that we all should be focusing, you know, as organizations, as governments, as people who actually want to make change. So I'm very proud to share that, you know, we have got permission from South Delhi Municipal Corporation, and we have taken over a new composting pit at BRT. This is Joseph Barros Tito Marg in Chirag, Delhi. We got this in June, the allocation, and since then until now we've been working on this, from initial cleaning of around the pits and you know, getting the fabrication work done from MCD and getting all the sheds to be made on pits for a proper process of composting. We have now, you know, started receiving the wet waste also on these pits. Not just that, we have, you know, we are trying to boost source of segregation as well in the areas around, areas like Panchsheel, areas like Krishi Vihar, areas like Masjid Mode. All these areas waste come here, Savitri Complex, etc. I'm very, very thankful to SIs. I'm very, very thankful to supervisor. I'm very thankful to executive engineer sir, Rajiv Jha sir, who have guided and supported us throughout in this initiative of these wet wasting composting pits. I'm very proud to share that within 1 month of receiving wet waste, we are able to divert 5 tons of waste from landfill. Imagine that what wonders we could do with these composting pits. And let me tell you, here there are 5 to 7 pits, and this is just one pit that I am sharing the number with you, and there is so much more to go. Rajiv sir, if you can hear me, I would please invite you to please share your thoughts over this.
Hello, I'm audible?
Yes sir, you are.
First of all, I want to congratulate Green Dream Foundation for this great meeting that you have arranged to both educate as well as to give an indication how things can be done. Okay, it's very important. So many people talk about these things, but it's to hear from people who have actually done is very wonderful, and it encourages others to do the same. The challenges of solid waste management is humongous. I mean, the problem that is faced by municipal corporation is the challenges faced by municipal corporation is quite humongous in the sense that we were having in Delhi 3 landfill sites, and now there will be no more landfill sites. The government has completely cut down on this, and the waste has to be managed locally. The need of these endeavors is that due to rapid urbanization, the large-scale generation of solid waste will take place in a closed, local, congested surroundings. There will be no more landfill sites. Further, the SWM rules, that solid waste management rules, asks people to dispose their wet waste locally. I mean, it is upon RWAs, market association, or all these people to dispose their waste locally so that it does not put the burden on the landfill site or the civic authorities. Another aspect is these endeavors reduces the cost of disposing, because ultimately in South Delhi, in South Zone, we are paying around 2,500 rupees per ton for disposing of 1 ton of wet waste to the landfill site. So ultimately, if it is locally disposed of, it reduces the civic authorities' burden as well. Now the challenges that is faced is huge in the sense that all these, I mean, you have talked about 3 compost sites that you have taken in South Delhi. That is W Block, GK1, then, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Then there is near BRT that you have mentioned, and another one is near Saket.
Yes, sir.
The thing is, these, you have taken up this site because these are away from the actual surroundings. The challenge is nobody wants these facilities in their backyard. This is the first challenge when you choose a site for composting, this is the first challenge that you face. The second is everybody will generate the waste, but nobody will take the responsibility of its disposal, because they will throw it and they will say that it is the corporation's responsibility. That is the another problem. Third is the negative public perception about the people who work in this field. That is very important. People have this notion that somebody who works in this field is not educated, not civic, does not have manners. It needs to be addressed, because this is a huge responsibility that is being delivered by rag pickers and the persons, local field workers who are working in the field. And the third is, I mean, even you have recently, I have felt that when you started that BRT, you were not able to find people who will actually work in the field. Somebody was coming and then he was working for 2 or 3 days and then he was leaving. So ultimately, see, these challenges, ultimately we talk when in a studio or a drawing room, it's very nice. But when somebody who works in the field and with the wet waste, see his situation, very few people will come to work in that particular surrounding. So it needs to be addressed. Then there is the possible solutions are that the way you are doing, we need to encourage the RWAs and all the people who are stakeholders, like my concessionaire is there. Then there is the bulk waste generator. All these people needs to be educated that waste has to be disposed of locally. You have to encourage people to segregate. I mean, it is still astonishing that Delhi, being the capital of India, with so much education and so much awareness and so much work by the NGOs, the level of segregation is still very poor. I mean, that needs to be addressed. Then this habit that you are also taking care of through the educating the children, that's very important. If you educate the children through these things, then this habit will remain for long and that will change the society. How if the children are sincere enough, then they will ask their parents to change their behavior. That's very important because the age of the children is where they can be persuaded, can be made to understand. Because when you become adult, it's very difficult to change your habits. The third thing is, apart from all these things, the possible solutions are as NGOs have to get funds from the corporate angle, so that this aspect, which is corporate social responsibility, the NGOs should get funds so that the person who is working in the field is better paid and he works with better equipment. Ultimately, his health and safety is very important, because I will only tell you the actual field problem. Because all these things will allot you the compost site, will get the funds, but the person who will work there, GDF, the Green Dream Foundation, has to take care of that individual who will work in the field. If you take care of that person who work in this field, then half of your battle is won. If the person who works there is satisfied and he goes happy with whatever he's doing and earning, then more people will come in this field to work, and you will go on a long journey or a better journey, and your volume will get bigger. So best wishes to you, but do care for the people who work at the lower level of this particular aspect, because I go to all the compost sites and their situation is not so good. It is somewhat, say harsh words from me, but when I go to all the compost sites and the way people work, their situation is not so good. So really, it needs to be cared of. By the way, best of luck to you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. And I'm glad that, sir, that you pointed that out. And sir, to mention that, we do make sure in Green Dream Foundation that, gloves, shoes, and all the safety kit is provided to the waste, our composting boys or the team who is working in that. And as Pritika ma'am also mentioned in the starting that, we are taking care of medical insurances of our Hisar beneficiaries. And I think we are the only organization who is doing this in this sector right now to help the waste pickers on this level. So thank you so much, sir, for guiding throughout, and thank you so much for sparing a time on Saturday evening. Now, after this, I would like to go on all the young change makers who've been waiting for their lovely teachers to take on the floor and share their ideas. So we have finally here to introduce the schools who have been part of us. And I feel personally the reason that I feel so connected with this entire initiative is that I get to work with you guys. I get to train my future change makers, and I think that is the biggest how do I say, my happy feeling for me whenever I start my day, that I have a workshop in a school to give today. So on this note, I would like to invite Tripti ma'am from JP Public School to share her thoughts and share her journey of zero waste to landfill with us. Ma'am, over to you.
Yeah, hi Simran, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Okay. So a very good evening to all of you. What a delightful evening it is. I'm thrilled to hear a lot of exciting stories from all of you. Myself, Tripti Srivastava, I am from JP Public School, Noida. And we started our journey in March 2022 with Green Dream Foundation. And they started with educating our students by so many seminars, so many sessions. And when this early age students get the right information, why segregation is important, what is the impact of plastic on the environment, why single-use plastic is harmful. So when they are getting the right information at the right age, we are helping them to become a more aware citizen, more responsible citizen. So I really want to thank Team Green Dream for that. And after that, we started our journey, and there are lots of action in the school. They educate our Didi, Bhaiya, gardeners, and they how to do the composting in the right way. And after that, they put two bins which are completely made up of the waste of bottle caps bins made by the bottle caps. And it was a thrilling step for our students when they are actually able to see, okay, this is a recycled product, and they started participating in the process of wet waste and the dry waste segregation. Then we made a volunteer group of the like-minded students, and we made a club by the name the Climbers of the students. And in the month of October 2022, we decided to celebrate International E-Waste Day. And that was a big occasion for our school, just like a festival. As in the school, in our life, we celebrate festivals by joining the hand together. On that particular day, more than 500 students came over and contribute in the e-waste. That was a big occasion. And after that, we are continuing our journey. We just recently did the plantation drive, and I hope this relationship will continue in the same way. And I want to add with, I want to complete my observation by a single thought. Whenever we are going out for any vacation, we are going out for the resort just to chill out, we always looking for a place which is near to the nature, because nature is soothing. We are always looking for a mountain view resort or the lake view resort. Why we are not creating a green around us? So on this note, I want to say thank you to Team Green team. Keep continuing the good work. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. And I just want to mention a very nice thing that I just got to know today, and I'm glad that Preeti ma'am is a mathematics teacher. And I mean, I think all my life I've just got only scared of numbers, but when I got to know it today, I just got so delighted that you don't need to be specifically associated to an eco club or an environmental organization, or something that you have done something in environmental studies. You just need that passion, that feeling to do something, your bit for society, your bit for environment. And for me, that actually became a very motivational thing just 3 hours before this webinar. And I'm so glad, ma'am, that you shared this with me today. It was another piece of information that made me feel that what we are doing with GDF is actually going in right direction. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your insights. All right, moving on. Now we have with us Gitanjali ma'am, from Mount Abu Public School. Ma'am, would you like me to play your video first, and then would you like to speak? Ma'am, can you hear me? Gitanjali ma'am, can you hear me?
Just checking. I think she had rejoined.
All right.
Get the rights again.
Hi, Gitanjali ma'am, can you hear me?
Absolutely, and I'm so delighted to be part of this wonderful session that we are having today. So namaskar and greetings to all the dignitaries who are present here and sharing their experiences today. And I'm extremely thankful to Mr. Ashish and Ms. Simran for inviting me to share our experience as change makers and celebrate a remarkable journey towards sustainability and environmental consciousness. Well, I know that everybody had so much to share that now I can very well relate that why this concept of zero waste is so important. And this entire beautiful journey started with a small phone call wherein I had a word with Mr. Ashish, and I wanted to know more about Green Dream Foundation. And then Mr. Siddharth, Mr. Ashish, we all sat together. We discussed about what are the prospects of this kind of a setup where we are talking about zero waste management. And from there, we decided that, yes, we'll have this relationship in a different way. And we signed an MOU. And Mount Abu Schools Association with the Green Dream Foundation and SSA in August 2022 had led us to a very significant milestone, and which was definitely getting closer to our mission of converting the school into a zero waste school. So I would like to add here, Ms. Simran, that Mount Abu Public School has a very strong vision advocating global citizenship and UN SDGs. And it has also been recognized on national and international platforms for the extraordinary efforts made in the field of sustainability. And I'd like to name some awards that we've got this year. So the school is named as one of the 25 Build the Change Showcase School globally by KEGO and Take Action Global. It is also recognized as a Climate Action School for 2023. It has also received Global Sustainability Award, wherein the school has been felicitated by ARC, the Austrian Embassy, particularly for its efforts in integrating United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and global citizenship. So besides this, Green Campus Program Award has also been given. It is very recently that we have received this award. And I must say that this relationship that we are generating with Green Dream Foundation and SSA as a testament to the power of collaboration and shared vision of making the school a zero waste school. So associating with Green Dream Foundation was an added feather in the cap. So I'm very thankful to Mr. Ashish for this setup that he has, wherein initially we started with some sessions with the children. I must say, since the very start of the event, I've heard people saying that the young learners are also here who seems to be very, very enthusiastic. Yes, they are. They've been sitting here since 5 o'clock, all because they are so passionate about the eco club that we have in our school. And indeed, I must tell you that our students have played a pivotal role in this transformative journey. Their enthusiasm, their creativity, their dedication to sustainable practices. Sometimes it really inspires all of us. And the workshops and awareness campaigns that GDF is doing in the school, along with some hands-on initiative where they are involving children of different levels, starting from primary level to senior secondary. The hands-on activities that we are doing, and very recently we had this adoption of plants, not just plantation drive, but adoption of plants wherein children have taken the onus of taking care of those plants. Their job does not finish by just planting. They go to those parks, they see their plants, they water them, they ensure that they are growing. And this was an initiative by Ms. Simran. So I must congratulate you, ma'am, for bringing in that kind of empathy, that kind of emotion. So plantation drives we've been doing for a very long time. Every one Mahotsav and Earth Day is one day where everybody is super excited to go in for plantation drives. But what was beautiful in this campaign was they are hell-bent on taking care of their plants. So thank you very much for that. So now we don't call them as Eco Club members or anything. We've started calling them Eco Champions. So all thanks to you again for that initiative. And I must appreciate the kind of calendar you people have prepared for the schools, wherein these kind of activities are becoming a regular practice. And your expertise, your dedication has certainly enabled us to implement sustainable waste management practices, fostering a culture of waste reduction, reuse, recycling within our own school community. And not only in our own school community, we have also, Ms. Simran is aware that we are planning sometime in coming months that we'll also approach the nearby residential area and also communicate our thoughts to the people staying there, that how waste management is important. So that also our students are very excited to do. So we are waiting for that, Simran. And Mr. Ashish, I must appreciate your initiative. From the very day when those 2 bins were installed in our school, one was for plastic waste and one for e-waste. And the most exciting thing about the children was that the bins itself were made from reusable caps, bottle caps. So that itself was so inspiring for the learners, and they thought that, yes, this is something, if this can happen, then anything can happen. So once again, congratulations to the entire team of GDF, SSA, and all the volunteers, these leaders. You've got leaders who are, they're very, very enthusiastic for this path-breaking mission of converting this whole city, this whole country into zero waste. And I must give a big shout out to all of you, and also would like to share with everybody who's present here that it's high time we should get into serious waste management. And it does start from schools, goes on to colleges and all institute, offices, residential areas, whether it's government organization, whether it's private organization, each one of us need to be conscious about waste management, because we all need to do something for our environment. We all need to do something for our country. And as I'm
so ma'am, would you like me to play your video?
Yeah, so before playing the video, I would just conclude here that as we celebrate this achievement, let us also remember that our responsibility does not end here. This accomplishment marks the beginning of a new chapter, and one where we continue to innovate, where we continue to educate, where we continue to advocate for a greener planet. So let our zero waste journey inspire others also to join hands in creating a more sustainable world. And after watching this video, maybe there'll be other schools also. And since so many young learners are sitting here, they might get a little inspired and they might would want to do something for the world. So once again, in conclusion, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to GDF team, to SSA team, our devoted faculty, our enthusiastic students, and each member who's present here on a Saturday evening. So together we have turned a vision into reality, providing that with determination and collective action. Thank you so much, everybody, for inviting me once again. Now you can play the video, Simran.
Thank you so much. Just let me try. I'm just trying to share the sound, etc. It's a very beautiful video put up by Gitanjali ma'am. And if there are students here from Mount Abu, so guys, this is for you.
Yes, I would like to correct you, Ms. Simran. It is not prepared by Gitanjali ma'am. It is prepared by the students.
Sure, ma'am. Why not? I mean, beautifully,
Yes.
I don't think there's more beautiful than this. So I would want that, if all, I'm just trying to make it a full screen, that if I could do it, yeah. So, all right. Is my screen visible to all?
Simran, we can just see the slides as of now.
Okay. All right. So I'm trying to. Okay. So let me try to share.
Can you just share the entire screen or just reshare?
Yeah. I'll just do it once again. Okay. All right. Just give me a minute. Just doing this. Someone else is sharing the screen?
Sharad is doing it.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Sharad. Sharad, I don't think that we can hear this. Sharad, I think you have to click on the share sound setting, and then we'll be able to hear the audio of the video. When you go to the share button, when you go to the Zoom share, there is a little option there that you can click on. Yeah, you have to again share this, and then you'll be able to. Wait. I think I can share this. Let me share the screen. Can everyone see my screen now?
Yes, Simran.
All right. So.
एक दिया बाती हजारों रोशनी घुल घुल जाए हवा में चाशनी है सेवा का जुनून क्या छोटा क्या बड़ा कुछ कर गुजरने का फितूर जब चढ़ा तूने है सिखाया हो हाँ धूप में है छाया हो हाँ तूने है सिखाया हो हाँ धूप में है छाया हो हाँ एक सोच है जागी जागी धरती के लिए एक जोत है जागी जागी प्रकृति के लिए एक सोच है जागी जागी धरती के लिए एक जोत है जागी जागी प्रकृति के लिए ओ
So this was a beautiful video put up by Mount Abu students. This deserves a big hand. I wish I could applaud so loud that it could reach to you. But I'm so thankful, Gitanjali ma'am, to share this video with us, and we were able to witness this beautiful video.
Thank you so much. Pleasure was all ours. Thank you so much. And this is the initiative by you. Let's take it forward earnestly.
100%, ma'am. Thank you so much. All right, so moving on, last but not the least, in a beautiful school's journey, we have with us Mr. Subodh Kulshresht from Pragyan School, Noida. Sir, I would like you to invite now for sharing your thoughts on zero waste journey and sharing that, how did you get associated with us. So, sir, over to you, sir. Subodh, sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, now
Yes, sir.
now I can hear you. I got the permission.
Not an issue, sir. So over to you, sir.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. And really, it was nice hearing you all and gaining much of with your experiences and the actions what you all are doing. Otherwise, I was thinking that now society is ignoring somewhere their environment and all, but I can see that make out that many of people they are doing towards the environment and saving this. So I am Subodh from Pragyan School. It is in Greater Noida. And first of all, I thank Green Dream Foundation for giving this opportunity. And Mr. Ashish, when I met him first time, I just asked him to educate our children regarding the issues which are prevailing, and he agreed to this, and he spared time and visited our school, and there he tried to sanitize the children with the waste management, and children had a lot of queries also where Mr. Ashish positively answered them. This has all created interest into the children. Already the eco club was existing in the school, but only the thing that some of the things were not well organized or not at par with the nation's vision and all, which Mr. Ashish helped us to see that. So school earlier had a compost pit, the school is having its own kitchen also, the children dine in, so there are a lot of waste in the kitchen. So first of all, we tried to uh, establish compost pits. Earlier also compost pits were there, but they were developed with the guidance of Mr. Ashish and his team. Mr. Saurabh used to come regularly and guide the gardeners also how to have technically more effective this compost pit would be. And we will be glad to know that in within 3 to 4 months, every 3 to 4 months, we are making around 100 kgs of manure and then using not only for our gardens, but during PTMs, we are also giving to parents as well. And even the saplings also, the children of our ecology club, they are preparing saplings under the guidance of our school horticulture department, and then we are distributing to parents as well. So being head of the ecology club, I'm trying to educate the people time to time with this all issues which are coming, and organizing workshops as well. So another very big achievement was the collection of e-drive, e-waste, sorry, e-waste. E-waste is becoming one of the major issue. Children were educated to bring the e-waste and hand over to us, and when it was more about say 100 kgs or 150 kgs of e-waste was given to Mr. Ashish and his team this time for recycling. So the children were educated on this part as well, that e-waste should go to the correct place. And the for that purpose, Mr. Ashish and this team was kind enough to have this bins installed in my school at two places, one in junior section, another in senior section, so that plastic waste separately can be dumped into that and e-waste can come into this. So this is all about e-waste we had given to them to go to a safer place. And I would like to tell Mr. Ashish that now double of this we have collected and kept, and very soon we'll be calling you for the help, so that you can take away this and see that how it will be recycled or other. Then beside this, see that as all other schools are also time to time celebrating the Environment Day or Earth Day or Water Day, and best out of waste activities or are also conducted so that the children get sensitized with all the issues. And even on the ozone day also, the workshop was there or extempore was there, different topics where the children express their views. So we are trying to work with the vision and the mission of Green Dream Foundation or Stainless Swachhta Abhiyaan, and trying to see that children how they are involved into this. As already said, that children are taking these things very seriously, and they take interest in all these things. Once they are pushed or once they are encouraged, they are bringing lot of waste from their house, and even they tell their parents as well to support them or to encourage, or even parents, they easily convinced by their children. We encourage them to use paper bags also, or the clothes bags also. We are making paper bags out of waste newspaper also, having 2 or 3 sheets, so making little thicker also. And then some envelopes, these all the things were also made. Posters, regularly we are conducting some competitions on posters or slogans making also. So with these small efforts, we are trying to educate our coming generation so they take over the future, and they get better environment. This is what already spoken too much on the environmental issues, that all global warming and how it's going to impact. This is all serious, the damage of ozone layer and then acid rain and the landfills, and this waste management or urban waste is dumped into this, how rivers turning into toxic streams. There are a lot of problems, though these children, actually we are responsible. These many of the problems are created by us, and it would be solved by us only. And these children are also being asked to collect these things, from their neighborhood also, societies also. Uh, we could arrange 1 or 2 trips to nearby societies. Parents were RWAs were told well in advance that school and children would be coming. Please see that if you have any e-waste, then keep it separately, and our students will come and collect it. So this way, we are trying to bring awareness within this region. And you will be also glad to know that the school got Green School Award for 2 years. Last year also we got Green School Award, and the school is also having their own rainwater harvesting system and eco-friendly. We are also having this organic farm also, where the drip irrigation is being there. We are growing our own vegetables there and helping the kitchen also too. So children are also taught the process of all this drip irrigation, compost making. Regularly children are monitoring this process, also learning from this. We have also asked them to make compost at home also. So they are sometimes sending pictures of that, and even making some bird feeders, and they are installing in their balconies, and they are sending pictures also. So with the small steps, I think actions, we can do wonders and bring a change in and around us at least. And I'm really thankful Mr. Ashish and Ms. Simran, who had come for workshop, also arranged. Mr. Saurabh regularly visit our compost pit. This is all wonderful, and their cooperation encourages us. And we know that someone is there, technical person behind us. We can ask any kind of doubt. Otherwise, earlier we used to think, yeah, where to give this e-waste, where to give this all, who will guide us for compost. But now I'm confident that his team always, whenever we call, and sometimes we are not able to give them even time also. Sometimes the school schedule is so busy, that मतलब चाहते हुए भी कुछ वर्कशॉप मेरी इच्छा होती है, बट so many exams, other things, schools are engaged with so much of work. So sometimes we are not able to, but we would like to see in future also that same kind of support. So this is what I would like to say. We're not taking much time already. Too much of said on all this thing. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for being so patient and sharing your thoughts with us of the journey. Thank you so much,
We
sir.
have to be Simran patient only. When we are here for some cause, then
Totally,
we have
sir.
to be
Definitely.
patient.
Definitely.
Okay.
And I would like to say that that Pragyan is one of the school that we have, who is the only school right now with us who is doing wet waste composting on such a big and massive level that our team also goes daily to to keep checks on it. There's proper staff who's allotted to take care of that wet waste composting. So we are very, very glad to have Pragyan on board with us, and I'm very sure that that this is just the starting, sir, and we're going to make wonders in the journey of this zero waste to landfill. So on this note, we have all the speakers who have shared their success journey and stories with us today. Now the question is that how can you make a difference? It's very, very simple. You can contact us. You can just simply find us on your social media platform, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. You need to call us, get in touch with us. We'll come and educate and aware your surroundings, your RWA or your school. We'll be happy to give consultation for wet waste composting. We will be arranging vehicles. We'll be arranging a proper pickup and door-to-door pickup of dry waste collection. And we are always here to make a difference along with you. On this note, the zero waste journey would continue, and it would never ever stop. And I really, really wish that the zero waste journey should inspire a lot of people with us today. This is a serious initiative of JSL. And on this note, I would like to invite Mr. Ashish Sachdeva, our founder, again, to give some closing remarks on the webinar.
So firstly, thank you everyone for staying in so late. Like Subodh sir rightly said, थोड़ा सा patience रखनी पड़ती है ऐसे sessions में, because everybody is presenting about their initiatives with all the passion. So even though एक limit लगाते हैं, but कई बार नहीं हो पाता है. So thank you everyone for understanding that. And I think it was just a treat to hear as well as watch the success stories that have been created under the Stainless Swachhta Abhiyaan. And like ma'am rightly said, this is just the beginning. I think a very small beginning जिसको हमें आगे लेके जाना है, साथ में लेके जाना है. And today, like I said, we could not bring everybody together, but we tried bringing as many different diverse kind of entities together, ranging from RWAs to AOAs to individuals to community change makers to educational institutions. And in terms of attendees, we had more than 400 people join in overall, joining in and joining out. The event was also is being streamed live on Facebook, and for the benefit of a larger audience, because we want more and more people to gain whatever little knowledge they can gain from this and either collaborate with us or do it on their own way. We are going to put the recording for this webinar on YouTube by tomorrow. So it will be available for everyone's benefit. So more and more students, more and more residents can see, if someone says, when someone reminds you about कि problem बहुत है काम करने में, तो एक रीजन उसको ये भी दिखाइए कि ये देखिए इस वेबिनार के अंदर आपको 10 रीजंस मिलेंगे to start your zero waste journey, because all these people are doing it. So it's just about looking at the positive side or the negative side. We all always want to look at the positive side. ठीक है, challenges आएंगे, but if we can create these kind of success stories just in one region of the country, and that we are doing in other parts also. So imagine that if everyone starts doing their bit, we'll have better air to breathe, we'll have a cleaner environment to live in. Everything around us will be fresher, more sustainable, more livable. At times I say that places like Delhi NCR are not livable anymore, right? But कितने लोगों की मजबूरी होती है यहाँ पे रहना, because यही हमारी job है, यही हमारी families हैं. लेकिन तो why not try to make this place better instead of making it worse? And अभी तो कहीं और ट्रैवल भी करना इतना मुश्किल हो गया है, because climate change is showing its colors more than ever before. So it all becomes very relevant. आज की डेट में किसी भी एज ग्रुप को इस प्रॉब्लम के बारे में समझाना बहुत आसान है, because the climate change is happening around us. And this webinar that you have felicitated, Simran, is just an example of how we can act on climate, or how to drive climate action. Last but not the least, I would like to thank all the speakers who joined in. They gave their valuable time. Dear sir, dear ma'am, we're looking forward to remain associated with you and add as much value as possible. Me, Simran, the entire team are always available, just a phone call away. I would also like to thank all the team members, who work day in and day out on the field to get this work done, whether it is monitoring of the sites, whether it is execution of the collection drives, doing the workshops, coordinating with the field teams, including Saurabh, Monica, who was supervised by Simran, and then all the waste collectors and the waste aggregators, Safai Sathis, जो हमारे भैया और दीदी हैं जो हमारे साथ involved हैं. Nothing can be, not even an inch of waste can be moved if these guys don't do their job well. So thank you so much. Kudos to you. And thank you for joining in today. Thank you so much. Have a lovely weekend. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, guys. So we'll be closing this webinar. Thank you so much. Have a good evening, all of you. Thank you.